realization of a long-held dream to build a Longhouse at Lane Community College. We're keeping the promise that we made in 1995, a long time ago, but we believe it's right to follow through on our promises, and this is the right thing to do for our community and is part of the legacy that we leave to our community and state. And this Longhouse is testament to people having a dream and then everyone coming together to make that dream a reality. Let me first invite Frank Merrill, Community Elder and retired LCC Native American Programs Coordinator, to do the invocation.
Good morning. It's always good to be asked to speak for the people. My name is Tim Kuda. I come from the Karuk tribe of Northern California. You all know me by Frank Merrill because that was the name given to me about a year after I was born. I come to give this invocation because I believe when I was brought here to this Mother Earth, and my family lifted me up in the air and introduced me to all of the things on this Mother Earth and told me this is the way for my survival. If I could make a spiritual connection with everything on this Mother Earth and take care of the things that I believe in. So I look after all of the things that I see out here. And so now, in your own way, and who you speak for, follow me. But before I do that, I want to do one more thing. I want to take this tobacco and offer it to this floor for the ones who were in on this Longhouse project who's no longer with us, who passed over. And so the ones we could take a few minutes, a moment of silence for, as I put this tobacco on the floor. Aho, grandfather, grandmother, great spirits of our people, I come here today to give thanks for this beautiful day. Grandfather, we gather today in this Longhouse, a home that we believe that all of our things that we have to cross over and pass on, and ways that we have of joining together comes from this Longhouse. Grandfather, bless all of the elders, the ones that have all of the wisdom. And bless all of the young ones who have a long journey in front of them. Grandfather, bless the ones in the middle, the dads, the moms, that's going to have a hard time during these hard days ahead of us. The celebration of all of our holidays are coming before us. The bitterness and the hate and all of the things that may come with it. Grandfather, give them the strength to overcome all of these things. Give them the strength to give their families the hope and the happiness that they have. Look after the ones that's overseas, Grandfather, that's protecting us as we stand here today. Grandfather, bring them back home to us in a good way. Grandfather, look at the ones in the iron houses, our brothers, our sisters, and all of the ones that's related to us. Guide them and protect them and bring them back to us in a good way so that we could heal them and put them back into our circles. Grandfather, we walk with you in this circle, and so now, Grandfather, grant all of the things that need to be taken care of, and look after all of the ones that haven't been taken care of in a good way. Make these storms that come to us a little bit easier, Grandfather, because, Grandfather, we have a lot of people that's on the streets in that cold. And so, Grandfather, protect them and their families. Protect the ones that's in the big houses up there in Salem that make the laws, make their minds be open and their hearts be open to the things around us, Grandfather, because, Grandfather, we could only benefit by the things that we are given. So, Grandfather, give them that authority to look at things in a good way. Look at the ones that are protecting, the one-legged ones, the ones that fly, the ones that swim. Keep our waters clean, keep our airs clean. And Grandfather, bless everyone that's here today. And may they return home. May their homes be just a little bit better from all of the goodness that comes from this area today. Grandfather, we bless you and we walk with you. Aho.
Thank you, Frank. First, I would like to recognize a number of people who have joined us today. Every single person in this room is important, but there are a few people that I'd particularly like to recognize. First, members of the Lane Community College Board, including Chair Tony McCown, Vice Chair Susie Johnston, Bob Ackerman, Pat Albright, and Roger Hall. We really appreciate you being here this morning and for your vision in helping make this a reality. The federally recognized tribes of Oregon, tribal chairs and chiefs, including Ed Metcalf, tribal chair of the Coquille Indian Tribe, Chief Warren Brainerd from Coos-Loramquah and Siuslaw, Warm Springs Chief Delvis Heath. I'd also like to recognize Esther Stutzman from the Kalapuya, and there might be others that came in later that I didn't catch, so welcome to all of you. I'd like to recognize June Chada from Senator Wyden's office, Dan Whalen, representing Senator Jeff Merkley, representing Congressman Peter DeFazio, Carmen Four, Mayor Kitty Piercy from the City of Eugene, County Commissioner Rob Handy, and Springfield City Councilor Hillary Wiley. There are also a number of my colleagues from the Diversity and Human Rights Consortium and who also serve as leaders of the public agencies in the Eugene-Springfield area. Superintendents Nancy Golden from Springfield, Colt Gill from Bethel, representing the University of Oregon, Vice President Charles Martinez and Greg Rickhoff. From the City of Eugene, John Reese. From LTD, Mark Pangborn, and from eWeb, Roger Gray. Welcome, all of you. We're overjoyed that each of you is joining us here today as we see this dream become a reality. There are many in attendance here who have helped us make this dream come true. And I'd like to, there are many, many people to thank, but I think this is the day that we give thanks and gratitude. First of all, Frank Merrill for having the dream to have a Longhouse on the LCC campus and never letting go of that dream. To Twyla Sowers and Francisca Johnson, who co-chaired the Longhouse Committee, did an amazing job. And to all the members of the Longhouse Committee, Wilma Crow for her wisdom and direction. Richard Archambault for doing everything. Barb Delansky, James Florendo, and Donna Keiki from our staff for their hard work and coordination of the project. Dean Middleton for his expertise with the AV system. Jerry Hall with the Native Garden, and all the other members of the committee, Jeff Harrison, Drew Viles, Nina Jackson, Karen Laufer, Michael Samino, Shiloh West, and many, many other former students. And I noticed that Steve Soto, who was in on the beginning of this, who now lives in Hawaii, came from Hawaii to be with us today. So someone else who was also in the beginning of this dream. Lane's Native American Advisory Committee, the whole committee, as well as co-chairs Bob Tom and David West. Welcome. Both the Coquille tribe and the USDA, the Forest Service from the Willamette National Forest, who were so generous to the college, and look at this beautiful facility as a result of those blessed trees. Thank you. Don Stasny from Portland, architect Stasny Bruin, who designed the Longhouse. We thank you. And we thank our general contractors, who were Lane Community College Facilities Management and Planning staff. We contracted this ourselves and brought some people in from the outside, but I want to thank our staff who did such a wonderful job and saved us so much money by doing this. Don Day for his expertise on cedar plank splitting and all his assistance in preparing and hanging all the cedar in the Hall of Honor. And for the Grand Ronde Cultural Resource Department for allowing Don to help us. And I had the opportunity to go and watch Don split those planks with these hand tools, an amazing, amazing feat. So thank you, Don.
It's right behind you.
In our facility management and planning staff, Todd Smith, Brian McMurray for their coordination of the project, Terry Starr, Steve Kale, Dave Willis, and all the other FMP staff who have worked on the Longhouse. Frank Dragons and the landscaping crew for the beautiful plants, the water feature, the walkways, the salmon pit, and the native garden. Absolutely beautiful work. Thank you. Rolf Johnson for building all the beautiful display cabinets in the Hall of Honor. The LCC Foundation, led by Executive Director Janet Anderson, the Foundation Board, and Kathy Thomas, Bonnie Phipps, Jerry Steele, and all the Foundation staff for everything they did to help us raise money for the Longhouse. Kura Faye, Danny Godinez, and Eddie Clark, and all the other musicians who donated their musical talents to raise funds for the Longhouse, as well as the McDonald Theater, Agate Hall at the University of Oregon, Eugene Weekly, and KLCC for the support of such fundraisers. Thank you. I'd like to thank the over 350 community members, many of whom are here today, the Lane Community College staff and departments, local businesses, organizations, and foundations, as well as the tribes who have donated funds and in-kind items to the Longhouse, including all the local businesses who donated items for silent auctions along the way. All of you will be recognized in our donor roll of honor. So thank you so much for supporting this. I must thank the students at Lane Community College. The culinary students and the art students conducted a fundraiser making and selling pottery bowls of soup. Many students from our Native American Student Association and student government, ASLCC, made a lot of fry bread, sold a lot of fry bread, did a lot of raffles to raise money for the Longhouse. Thank you. And our student body as a whole, not just once, but twice, voted a $3 student activity fee to be paid every term, dedicated to the Longhouse, and it will be paid until the entire project is paid for. So I want to thank our students. This is an amazing commitment of all of our students. And finally, I do want to mention one member of the Longhouse Committee, Richard Archambault, his tireless commitment to making the project a reality, from being out in the forest, getting the trees, to working on the planks for the honor hall and coordinating. This was a volunteer job, folks, and he gave his heart and his soul to make the Longhouse a reality. So thank you, Richard. So just a few comments about why this is important for Lane Community College. I think Lane is known for having a strong Native American education program. We have students from all 9 tribes and from across the country represented at Lane. We currently have 621 self-identified Native American students here at Lane. Our Native American student coordinator, James Florendo, teaches leadership and skill building courses, and he will oversee the stewardship of the Longhouse. We have 5 Native American instructors teaching nearly 24 courses in the American Indian experience. The American Indian language program was developed a few years ago, and several Oregon tribes are working with us on that. The Native American Student Association provides social, cultural, and academic opportunities, including tomorrow, our annual powwow, which attracts more than 1,000 people from across the Northwest. UMISTA is an interdisciplinary summer program for Native American youth and is part of the Rites of Passage Summer Academy programs to let students know, to let Native American students know that they have a right to education, and we welcome them at Lane Community College. And so building the Longhouse was the next logical step to enhance our Native American program, as well as benefit all of the students on the campus. The Longhouse at Lane will be a home for not only Native American students, but all students, a place to share values and cultures. It will also provide an educational resource for the curriculum as well as the physical campus. As you can see, the design reflects a symbiosis of traditional and contemporary construction methods with materials that are derived from Mother Earth. It sits on a prominent site on the campus with axial relations to the cardinal directions, and it will provide a landmark for the campus and be a gateway introduction for visitors to the campus, with the major ceremonial entry facing east, a story and teaching circle adjacent to the building, and entries both east and west leading to the circular Hall of Honor, a place to honor the 9 tribes of Oregon. Neighboring the hall, this Longhouse room is of traditional proportions and structure, representing a place that has familial, sacred, and traditional modes. It will be a place of gathering on the college grounds. The simple elegance of the building and site design is a container for the rich and diverse culture of Native Americans. It will provide a space where students can come together. It will be a place of spirit, a place of learning and talking, a place of respect for those that have gone before, a place of hope for the present day, and a gift to future generations. And we are so excited that today is the day we share it with all of you. Thank you for being here, and again, welcome. It is now my pleasure to welcome the chair of the Lane Community College Board and a former student body president, Tony McKine.
So today is the day. That's actually part of my speech. So hey, that was a wonderful segue. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to welcome you all here. We're joined here by members who took part in the original vote of confidence from the Board of Education, as well as members who were here 20 years prior to that working on issues of diversity. And so I'd like to welcome you all here. And welcome staff, students in the community. Mary kind of went through a list of folks, and so I'll scratch a bunch of those off, not to bore you guys too much, and so we can get back to just sort of this feeling of community that I've felt since I stepped foot on this campus, but really felt today. This is a great, just a great experience for me. As Mary mentioned, I was student body president, and there are a number of people here who kind of worked with me as student body president to kind of get my assistance and use my influence on the board at that time to kind of move this project along. And I just really specifically want to thank, folks like Frank Merrill, Richard Archambault, and Jeff Harrison, who didn't let us forget, didn't let the board forget about this project. And I really want to thank the board for not forgetting, because after so long, a project like this really could have potential to fall off the wayside. But it really is a testament to the community's commitment to this project. And I think just this labor of love is evidenced today by this turnout. We opened a building across the way a few months ago, and did not see this amount of support. So it really is heart-touching for me to see all your faces and crammed in here. And I'm glad we're actually crammed in here and not out in the cold. But the board has continued to support this project along the way. And we're just really pleased to be here today with you. I think that this building is not just a cultural lesson, but it's a lesson in community. It's how can we come together and build something from scratch and build something out of nothing, really, is what we did. Mary mentioned all the community support, all the support from the tribes, and specifically the support of the students. We try to pass a lot of funding measures as students. This is unprecedented, really, to fund something to this degree, and I think it speaks volumes to the influence that the Native American culture has on this campus, the Native American students and staff have on this campus, but also the responsiveness that the students have to that culture and to those individuals. So, I want to again thank you for all your help. This is 15 years in the making, and about a month and a half ago it was another little hiccup. But I think that, as Mary put it, and as I said, today is the day. You can tell that today was meant to be the day to open this building. It's a perfect way to segue into our powwow tomorrow. And so I'm glad. I'm sure that made it possible for a lot of you to be here. And so I'm glad that we were almost forced to wait till today, but today is the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. I would like to note that also in the room is Dr. Kathleen Shelley, a former board member who was on the board when we took the vote to fund the Longhouse. Welcome, Kathleen. I'd now like to introduce Richard Archambault, who is the Longhouse Committee member, community volunteer, as I mentioned, and he has some special rewards and recognitions that the Longhouse Committee would like to present.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much for your comments and all of this. Well, this is the time that I get to have a little fun. The committee and I got together, and I came up with the idea of giving special awards to people who went over and above and beyond to make this project happen. And I'm about ready to lose it. Just a second. Okay, so these awards, 24 people, 25 people, have done just this on this campus, off this campus, volunteers that came in over time, some of them, but this focuses on just those people. Now, with the aid of my helpers over here, first one up is Mary Spelman.
Oh.
I know it was. She actually paid for all of them.
Thank you very much.
Next up, Donna Kagi, my friend. Where are you, Donna? She's the only one on this campus that can corral when you put a leash on her. Without this next person, we wouldn't have this project. This man is incredible. He does things with his hands that is incredible. He's a jewelry maker. He does so many things, I can't keep track of it all. Mr. Don Day. He has revived the lost art on longhouses. If you want to know anything about longhouses, he's about the only, him and maybe 4 other people know it all. He got his degree from U of O in this field. And of course, my brother, my friend, and who inspired me to get into this project, Mr. Frank Merrill. My brother. I think I better put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Without these folks, this project would not be here. All the cedar you see in this building was donated by the United States Forest Service. We are very grateful for that. We have a new ranger in the district of Willamette, and I have lost my list of her name. Yeah. Are you? Okay. Okay, and the rest of the folks that belong to the Forest Service, you just come up one at a time. My friend, Mr. Tony Parquet, the resident archaeologist. Melanie Rosa, you were picking up hers. Darren Utley. Mike Rasbach, he was the ranger that originally, years ago, authorized this project to happen. John Poet, I don't know if John's here today. That's for Melanie. She's not, I know she's not here today. And there's yours.
Thank you. Richard, donate's the wrong word. It was always your wood to begin with. We just figured out a way to get it there.
He kind of turned me loose with a chainsaw. Well, he just commented to me and said that it was all our wood anyway. He just kind of kept it safe. But it was really gracious of them to help us. The one that was really involved and right from the ground up, and is a friend of mine, Macbeth Builders. Where is he? Where'd he go? Brian, where are you? And this next individual, you know, people hear us around the campus, we're always yelling and growling at each other. I have a heck of a time. Mr. Frank DeRay, of charge of grounds keeping. Frank, how do you pronounce your last name? All right, the rest of these is Terry Starr. This is all the facilities bunch. Chris Camley, painter. Chris here today? No, I guess he's up there working away. Lynn Atkins, I know he's not here. He's out of town. His mother is very ill. Steve Kale, another painter who was also an Indian. Steve didn't make it down. What you got these guys doing, Mary? And also to the people that helped us a great deal, the Grand Round Tribal Council and the Cultural Department.
Thank you, sir.
And you are, sir?
I am Jack from Junior Tribal Council.
Jack, what? Okay. There's another individual here who's a volunteer for us, and he came to us, some time back. And he's a young man, well, he's my age, a veteran, and he worked very hard with us all summer. and did a lot of things, was very inspirational and helpful to me, Mr. Randy White.
You had to go to class.
Oh, he's his class, this is his lovely wife picking it up for me. We were very lucky on, as far as transportation, bringing everything here. We ran across a trucker named Gary Olson, who really helped us a great deal in the price of the stuff. And I don't think Gary's here, I haven't seen him. So just go ahead and put that one aside. And to the students of Lane County, I thank you immensely. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. The Associated Student of LCC, is the president here? Or one of the- all right. Yeah. And for the benefit that we put on last year was really great. We had a lot of fun at that. I don't think they're here. Eddie Clark and his friends. Eddie Clark, he didn't make it either today.
Lynette's here.
Huh?
Lynette's here.
Lynette?
Lynette's here.
Lynette, come on up here, Lynette. Thank you very much. I am Billy Albany that night, so contact.
Okay.
And the last person on the list who really helped at a concert that we did downtown a couple of years back, fantastic singer. The drummer that she had with him was, he did things to a guitar I didn't think were possible. Pure Faith. I don't know if she made it down or not. I just found out she's on tour. So, with all of that, that's my help. Thank you for all helping us all. We appreciate it. Thank you.
That is just testimony to Richard that, you know, he was the one that wanted to make sure that we had beautiful plaques for all the people who came together to make this a reality. As people are coming in, I want to recognize Dennis Shine, another former board member of Lane Community College who was on the board when we took the vote to fund the Longhouse. So Dennis, thank you for being here. I also want to give a special thanks to the Grand Ronde tribe, who today presented us with a check for $20,000 for the AV equipment in the building. We are truly blessed. At this point, I'd like to ask Twyla Sarr, one of the co-chairs of the committee, to come up to make a special presentation.
The members of the Longhouse committee have been meeting for a long, long time. I think Wilma and I thought it would be forever. But the day is here, and I couldn't be more thrilled and more grateful to all of you who helped with this process, from Mary to the foundation, to the students here at Lane Community College, to all of you from the community, the tribes. We are so enormously grateful and so happy. I want to acknowledge two people because we owe them so much. Our friend Richard was here every day, bad back notwithstanding, many days worked in pain, was here to kind of support wherever he could. He did everything he possibly could. Truly his heart and soul was here in this building. So Richard, on behalf of the committee, would you please come up? Hiding out?
I don't know where he went.
Oh, okay, well, we'll get that to him later, but we owe Richard so much. And then we also owe a great debt to a dear friend. We've grown to love her, And she has stood by our side, she's led us, she's cajoled us, we laughed together, we cried together sometimes, and we just struggled on through her leadership. And this Longhouse and our community, all of us, we owe her a great debt for hanging in there. Would Donna Keiki please come up?
I'd now like to invite James Florendo from our Multicultural Centre, a Native student advisor, to come forward and make a few remarks.
Ituktikura, that's our way. Ishkwa, life, choose. That's the way of my people, the Wasco, one of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs. You've heard a lot of thanks and admiration for all the people who have contributed. The Great Spirit is the leader of us all. We've had in this week a lot of confusion, a lot of mistakes about how we reached out to people. I apologize for those now. I thank the Grand Ronde Canoe Singers. I thank my chief, Delvis, for coming in and doing wash it this morning. I thank all of you that came and showed that all the time Indians don't follow a guideline. They're not on a program. Life is going to happen when it's time for it to happen. That's what this Longhouse is for. It's what I'm here for. I'm going to be the steward of this Longhouse. I was wondering why. I asked myself, I asked my brother, I asked my friend, I asked Creator. I looked back to my mother and asked, why am I here? Why did you lay this responsibility on me? When I look out at all my friends, all my tribal people, that over the years, I've been in education for over 20 years. Bob Tom, my mentor. Grandma Aggie, my mentor. The tribes, Ed Metcalf, Chief Brainerd, all of you, all your students, all your people. What they want, what I've heard working with them for the past 20 years, that's what's here inside of me. That's who needs the help. That's who's going to be using this Longhouse. That's where our lessons need to go. We need to teach this institution how to work with our people. We need to teach our students how to live in this world. There are two things that need to meld together. Our traditions need to maintain the values that are behind those traditions. And I just want to assure all of you that I'm going to try the hardest, at least while I'm in this position, as long as Creator sees fit for me to be in this position, that I'm going to come from here. I do have a degree. I have gone through the system. I do know how to wear a suit. Don't know about that tie stuff. But I do know how to dance too. And I know how to powwow. I know how to drum. I know wash it. I grew up in Huckleberry Feast. I grew up in Root Feast. I grew up with longhouses that recognize first kill. And way, way too often, funerals. The funerals that took my family with the alcoholism, with all the addictions, with an economy that didn't let them live, with the drugs that took their lives. Our people need to learn how to beat those things. This institution here can help teach all your students how to beat those things. We can come here and get the skills, but don't you forget your values. Don't you forget your traditions. We have many different traditions. You got to hear some beautiful songs this morning from different tribes, and you're going to hear more. And again, I'm going to promise you, from here, I will try my hardest. I will try my hardest to honor all of you with this education, to make sure that this place is used in the right way. And for all students, I want to thank all the students of Blaine Community College, all those that walk into my class. I teach a class in college success, how to beat the system, how to graduate. And that may sound funny, but yeah, I have to teach them, know your oppressor. If you don't know who your oppressor is, you're not going to beat them. But you can pick up the tools. And I'm finding out non-native students are just like our kids. They're fighting the same battles. And they come to my class because we show them another way. Native folk, we have another way of dealing with this stuff. There's a spirit and a tradition and an honor within the way that we do things that respects all living things. That's why I opened with this. I don't know much, but I do know that our lives are dependent on this. The very simplest of things. The very simplest of things. And I will keep simple. And I will do my best to whatever direction you want, however you want your students to learn. Let me know. Let me know. I'm the one. I'm the one responsible at this time. If you want to see me, meet me afterwards, I got a card. I'm a simple man. I'm no healer. I'm no medicine man. I'm not a councilman. I've never been I'm not from a chief's line. Nothing like that. I asked my mom, where did we come from? She said, oh, we were just burden bearers. I said, burden bearers? Gall. She said, well, somebody has to do the work. And I'm here to work for all of you. Thank you.
Gentlemen, how you doing? On behalf of, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of NASA and what this Longhouse means to all of us, in fact, I have class here. I'm sure I can make this fast. This is an honor for all of us to be here, and to as a memorial for this Longhouse. This is something that's bringing all the cultures and to give honors to the 9 tribes. And for me, it's like it gives me shivers just to be here because this is just awesome, It's amazing to see all of you here, to give tribute to this and to be grateful and thankful and to be humble that I can be up here and just to listen to everyone for everything what they said. This is great to bring all the cultures together because this is what we need. This Longhouse is going to be here for the future, for our generation, for our children to be here. And that's what's going to make this great, is that all the cultures are going to be able to come together. And in this Longhouse, this is where it's going to be taught, is right here. And I wish I could say more, but I got a writing class I got to run to. Thank you.
My name is Jean Miller, and my first year out here at Lane was when they actually broke ground to start building this Longhouse. I just transferred from Lane this summer, and standing here listening to James, he may not be all of those things that he has said, but he is something even better. He's family. He is what brings the unity to the students here. And this Longhouse, with his help, will give them pride in who they are. Something that the generations to come really need.
Hello, all my relations. My name is Wesley Richard Smith, and I am from the Confederate Tribes of Warm Springs, Oregon. I'm a first-generation student here at Lane Community College, as well as the vice president of the ASLCC, our student government here at Lane. And I worked as a former co-chair of the Native American Student Association, NASA, last year here at Lane Community College. And I welcome you today to this opening of our Longhouse at Lane Community College. This is a remarkable day, being the first Longhouse on a community college grounds. You know, and I'm here and I must give thanks to accreditation to where it is due. I must give thanks to the Creator for blessing us with life and prosperity, to our elders who paved this red road for our survival, to Frank Merrill and Richard, who have made this endeavor possible, to the Native American Student Association, to the Lane Community College Administration, to all the supporters who donated money to our cause, to the students, to the four directions, the east, color red, representing success and triumph, to the north, the color blue, representing defeat and trouble, to the west, color black, representing death, to the south, color white, representing peace and happiness, to the four seasons, the winter, color blue, the season of waiting and survival, to spring, red, victory over winter and power of new life, to summer, white, time of plenty, to fall, black, the final harvest and the end of life cycle, to the 2- and 4-legged animals, to the crawlers, to the birds of the sky, to the creatures of the seas, to the trees, to the 4 elements of life, earth, wind, fire, and water. Without these, humanity would not be able to survive. I give thanks to the live and fallen soldiers who fought and are still fighting in battle today for our freedom and the chance to learn and to live together, giving us equality and knowledge, seeking opportunities to honor this presence of the skies above. So thank you to the Creator and Mother Earth. Today is a remarkable day. Being Lane is the first community college in the state of Oregon to have a Native American Longhouse on its campus. It will bring a sense of home to all Native peoples from near and far here at Lane. But the thing is, we do not discriminate against other nationalities to come and share this Longhouse with us in times of need. There will be teachings of our traditional and cultural values and ways of life taught here in this Longhouse. Our doors will be open to all who want to come and share this dwelling and learn with us. We hope for all to know that this Longhouse will be a place where Native Americans and others can come and get the help they need mentally, spiritually, and culturally while they're away from their loved ones in search of this post-secondary education. And I hope that you will leave this opening with good hearts and clear minds to share with the others that Lane Community College is a remarkable institution and the college of extraordinary measures if you or your loved ones are in search of a higher post-secondary education. And it brings pride and pleasure to my life to have my cousin James Frendo here. When I first came, I was in trouble with the law. The judge, Gary Grant, out of federal court, you know, he gave me one chance. He said, you can either change your life, quit doing the drugs and alcohol, which I'm not perfect. I've relapsed, you know, I've had my times, but I'm still here. I'm still in search of my post-secondary education, and I'm succeeding. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without the help of my cousin, inspiring me, giving me those words of courage, you know, in my family, my friends, and the people that have come through this institution before myself and succeeded in their post-secondary education. So it gives me great pleasure to be here and represent for my tribe, as well as the 9 tribes here in Oregon, as well as the Native Americans across this great nation, that have suffered and walked down this road. You know, and I just like to know that look at this house. It's beautiful. It's going to be here for us all and for the generations to come. And I thank Mary, and I thank the Associated Students of Lane Community College, and I thank everybody for this day. That's all I have. Aho.
My name is Jack Clark. I'm the Navajo. I think it was about a year ago, the committee asked me to make a drum for this Longhouse. And during the drum making, there was a lot of songs that were made. Met a lot of people while working on the drum. Some of the people come around and watch me and wanted to learn how to make drums. We're gonna sing 2 songs with my friends here, with their help, and my wife, my daughter. I want to thank you for letting us come into your lodge, letting me come in and bring my song and my drum. This song that the first song that I'm gonna do, I don't want no picture taken place. The second song, you can make a movie of it if you want. this drum, I'm gonna turn it over to the Longhouse and President. There's the drum, and I don't know. I'll see all of you. Take that drum somewhere at the powwow. I want to see everybody over there.
Well, Chad, thank you so much for the drum. I know it will be used well and well used, and thank you for filling our Longhouse with your voices and your drum. I'd now like to invite representatives from the 9 federally recognized tribes in Oregon to speak if they would like to. I know for sure that Chair Ed Metcalf from Coquille, Chief Warren Brainerd from Coos, Jack Giffen from Grand Ronde, and Delphine Jackson from Klamath Modoc Unuskan Band of Paiute do want to speak, but would like to invite the other tribes to speak for a few moments if you desire. So I don't know who wants to start. I invite you to come up. Ed, come on, Bob.
Well, I had a brief 2-hour speech prepared, but Warren told me I couldn't do that. So I thank you for inviting the Coquille here. I'm Ed Metcalf, the tribal chairman, and it was our honor and privilege to donate the fir logs for this building. You did a great job. They look gorgeous, and this is something that everyone can be proud of for years to come, especially for our youth that are coming up. And I think most of the tribes have a lot of youth coming up, and that's always good. And I wanted to thank Don Day on his work on the cedar in there. I told him I thought he was just a salmon cooker. I didn't know he could do this wonderful stuff, but anyway, thank you very much, and I'm very happy for the college, and it'll be good. And when I talked to my 11-year-old grandson yesterday at basketball practice, I told him I was coming up here, and he said, "Grandpa, you have to say something to those people." And I said, "What's that?" And he says, "Go Ducks."
Dai, that's hello in the Coos language. I am very happy and thankful to be a part of this celebration. This is really a special place, and those who don't recognize it will. This is a place of the future. Our leaders will be coming through here and coming home to help us all have a better life. We, the Native people, know that education is a very important thing. It is within our Constitution the #1 thing. We want all of our people to come and be educated, and they'll know that the stroke of the pen is very mighty, and it has, by its very existence, has caused our people to have much trials and tribulations, but we, with education, we will know in the future how and why the things that happen. Amen.
Welcome. I'm Jack Giffen Jr., Tribal Council Member for the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde Community of Oregon, and also a board member for the Spirit Mountain Community Fund, which was pretty instrumental in the finish of this building. And I'd like to recognize one person on that fund who is the director. Shelley Hansen is also a tribal member, and I think it's appropriate for me to also recognize my partner and council member Wink Soderberg. He's a senior council member for the tribe. I believe this wonderful building is a foundation. We got a state educational facility right behind us. And they educate us and our children in one way. But our children are gonna be able to educate them in another way in this building. We always get educated in a certain way, but there's two sides to every story, and buildings like this across Oregon allow us to tell our side from our eyes. So it's a wonderful, wonderful building, and I'd like to introduce Bobby Messier and have him do a blessing of all the people that was involved in constructing this building, making it happen, and all the people that will come in here, give a blessing in the Chinook jargon for us.
Meuk na sakli dai and sa tiki wao kai masi pus kana we matsalulu and sagi yakwa bine kwa mananach kana we tillig mu klaks de muk yellen pasuk muku kaus put sage ene kwa ook matsananach kana we tillig mu klaks de chagu yakwa ook san be all the fluska kabit all the fluska kamdaks kana we kikte mit light yakwa Bine kwauk met sa yellen en sage pus quantum chago killa by pus mukik de kwa. Ne kwa manach ook tillichem, ook klakste, mumps ook kanawe ook stik je kwa. Ook kaneem stik. Ne kwa ma kamdux en sa mump slushik de kaba maiga ola. Be kanawe ook lagom stik en sa mump wach ik de kaba maigi. Bine kwa kanchi en sa klade, ne kwa ma mump mithlet ook julsket house kaba en sa tamdum. Pensa tege wao kai masi ka bakana we sa ankli tulgum ne gwa met sa mok yel aan het zeige pas kana we en zeige tulgum ook chago ye kwa ka book school sa tege wao kai masi posuk san pe kai masi kana kek ta mamok posage ai masi say
Welcome and thank you, and I visualize this longhouse of many nations. And many of our youth will come and educate. Thank you and welcome.
Any other representative? Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being here and thank you for supporting us. I'd now like to invite the person who started this dream, Frank Merrill, to make some closing comments.
Back in 1990, or 1970s, I went to school here. And then I went to University of Oregon, and I graduated in 75. I got hurt in a logging, in a mill. And so in the early 1990s, I came back. And I was eating dinner down in the cafeteria. And Mason Davis, from way back when I went to school here in 75, recognized me, invited me over, and we got talking. He said, we need a program, an Indian program. We have no Indian program on this campus. So I got hired as an advisor. They gave me a little bitty office right outside of the president's office and a missions office up here in the front. They gave me one big old picture window. And on that picture window, I put every Indian thing I know and gathered up and stuck on that window. And within weeks, I had so many people standing in the doorways of my office that they finally decided to give myself another office so that I would get out of the way of the work that was coming through. When I came here, the doors was not open. It took me a long time and a lot of energy and a lot of belief and a lot of support from the people to build a program. First of all, I want to thank my family. I want them to stand up so you guys could recognize them. My son Robbie, for 14 years that I was here teaching a Monday night class, would sometimes drive all the way from Blue River to make it at 6 o'clock so when he started up our drumming. And he did this soaking wet, muddy, but we made what the people needed. Gave them the songs, gave them hope, and gave them the spirit that they maybe never ever seen before. My wife and my kids and my grandkids for 5 years, because I believe that all of our Indian people have the spirit of the four-legged one, the one that swims, and the things that fly. I had to cook meals for this powwow in my house. This school would not allow me to cook these meals on this campus. So me and my wife stood up all night long the day before powwow, cooking hams, turkeys, deer meat, elk meat, and salmon, and transported them up here in the back of my car and put them in heaters so that the people that came to our powwow could have a good meal and have a meal that represented us, the people that recognize these spirits. These are the things that happens when you come to a college that have no support. This college opened up the doors when I brought the coalition in here. For the first time, all of the people that showed up at that coalition meeting gave support. We want an Indian program. We did this, we did that. I brought a drum to this campus, and I was not allowed to drum in your classrooms because that drum was making too much noise. But after they found out how spiritual that drum was, and they didn't have to hide no more when that drum music broke out, because for years and years, when we sat on that drum, people will lock their doors because the Indians were coming. But it takes people like me to have that spirit, to keep doing it until you break down the barriers. And I did, but not with the help of my family, pushing me, helping me, and all of you students, and you all standing here. Some of you guys travel a long ways, and if some of you guys are here, stand up. Stand up so you guys will be recognized. There's one, there's two. There's more here. I seen Morgan walking around here a little while ago. I seen all of these guys right here that have, from this college, I have went to the state legislature and did the opening prayer. So this college could be recognized with that. I blessed this hospital over here in Eugene. I blessed your parks. I even chewed this woman out right here, your mayor. Because one day, she stepped up in front of me and did her speech before I did the opening prayer for Earth Day. And she knew about it. So these are the things that came to LCC through me and my pushing. Now that we have a Longhouse, I had a dream. You said you have a dream of building a Longhouse. This Longhouse is built the way I dreamt it should be. It should be long. I wanted a place of honor for the 9 tribes that were here. I wanted their students to walk through that door with somebody maybe from a foreign country and say, hey, this is my tribe. This is where I belong. This is my home. And share that wisdom, share that knowledge. Most of you guys right here are coming here to learn the knowledge of our people. When you get my age, and Aggie's age, Bob Tom's age, maybe you could put it into wisdom. And when you gather that wisdom, then you elders that are speaking up now, that from all over, I've been going to different places, people I recognize as my elders are getting very few. There's only a few that I could look up to now and say thanks. I look at the elders in our community that say they're elders. If you're going to be an elder, fight for what you believe in. Look at the things that we have here. I was put on this Mother Earth to share and care for the things around me. You heard me say that. I come from a place that the people, the pioneers or the Christopher Columbus came here. They seen the Garden of Eden, where everything blended together in a spiritual way. I wanted that here. I wanted to recognize the veterans with totem poles around this place right out here. I talked to some of the tribal members, and I found out that you guys have carvers, and maybe our veterans could be recognized in a good way from each and every one of you. Because our veterans, I'm one, and there's a lot of us sitting here amongst us, are the ones that fought on the line so that we could have this building. I wanted a place for our storytellers to come and listen by the water, so we have running water. I wanted this building to be filled with the people, just like it is today. Because you never know how important this building is. I did weddings in your cafeteria. I did a memorial in your theater. These are the things that I had to do when I was here. And now we have a place that all of these could be put together. The people that was here doing the Thurston shooting in that high school, we put a healing ceremony. Me and my son and my family sat out here and did a healing ceremony so we could pull our spirits back together so that we could continue to do our job in a good way. When I walked onto this campus and when I went to a lot of your meetings, most of your meetings, I was asked, are you going to be a professional today or are you another Indian? Because when I went into them meetings, I recognized how important it was for us people. A lot of times when we're in them meetings, the Indians come out, and I never wore nothing but this Indian stuff on this campus. I was recognized by the things I wore. I thank each and every one of you who came in support of this Longhouse. Now we have a place for our salmon to be cooked. Now we have a place that these students, if they feel in their heart that their elders and their spiritual people need to be fed wild game, maybe it could be cooked on this campus once again. My job is to only make things a little bit better for the ones that follow. I hope that this Longhouse could be a Longhouse So when my granddaughter comes here to go to school, or my great-grandsons come here to go to school, that they will have an opportunity to fulfill whatever it is that they need. I thank LCC for allowing us to put this Longhouse on this campus, because now, with this Longhouse, all of them roads into this campus is open from your tribal people. I look around and I seen one person that traveled clear from Hawaii to be here today was one of my students. I look out in the communities and I seen some of my students that even your tribal members have been pushed away, but they was brought to this campus. They have now got an education, they now have a family, and some of them are now working in your tribal office. I feel sorry for the ones that worked so hard in helping me to achieve this building, that have passed over and never got a chance to witness this great moment. The day we blessed this ground out here, Craig Whitehead was one of them. Kelly from Siletz was there, standing alongside of me. We brought my drum out, and we sang, and a red-tailed hawk sat on a rock right here where this building is. That showed me that this is a very important spot, and I hope now that the ones that move on will leave the message for the ones that take their place. Please keep this building like it is. I can only thank this man for doing the hard work, to going to the places that I didn't have places to go. I ran out of funds. I didn't have the funds. I could no longer go to and travel like this man did. He was blessed and he came to me. He helped finish this building as long as we had the things to work for. All of you that teach here, I hope that you could only bring goodness to this building, because now I would like to say thank you.
Frank, I'd like to thank you for having the vision, for sticking with us, and for teaching us what we needed to know. Now it's my great honor to introduce Grandma Agnes, spiritual elder of the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde and chair of the International Council of the 13 says Grand Ronde, sorry. Chair of the International Council of the 13th Indigenous Grandmothers, I'm sorry, and invite her to do the closing prayer.
You may be seated. What an honor to come to see a fruition of a dream. What a beautiful thing for you to have on your campus. Because I always say, as I journey through different universities and colleges that if you want spirituality on your campus, put a Longhouse. So this is what you have, because all around you is the keepers of the wisdom. If you want the history of this land, you got it, and a place to bring it. What a beautiful thing to do, all of you. God bless you for all your endeavors and your hard work. And I want to thank you too, Mr. Merrill, for your dream. It must be really uplifting to see it all come to fruition now. And so everybody continue to support it as we go forward. I always say it's the little people that own the world, and what a wonderful place this is going to be for them to grow up and to know that they fit and belong. It'll do a detour from alcohol and drugs. And so to have this type of an establishment for all of it, because we're all so intermarried, so it's going to blend with each and every one of you and be a great thing in this community of strength and power and love. So all of us got aboard this ship called friendship, and it takes a 4-letter word to make it move, and that's LOVE. And we are doing that with this building. And I think the one-legged, the tree people, that gave up its life for all this framework. Even though the tree is dead, the power is still there, the strength is still there. And you could feel it as I walked to the door. The spirituality. How many felt the spirit in here today? Wow! It's just singing through me. I'm a tribal elder of my, spiritual elder of my tribe, so I really sense that when I come into the door. A beautiful thing you have, the power and strength to bring you all together. The world should, the powers that around the world should be like we are in this room. Supported with love, supporting one another, giving each other hope and respect. And the sacredness is there, and the sacredness in this room. May God bless each and every one of you, and may it be taken care of in a loved and a wonderful way from time to come. And I really appreciate all those endeavors from everybody. And I want to thank, I got my white cat from Australia, but my family from Grand Round, Brian, finally got me my cedar cat. And I want to thank you, Brian, and I want to thank you too, Bobby, for nudging him to bring it. He's been forgetting it. I could also belong to Grand Round because my grandmother married Chief George Harney, our first elected chief of Siletz, and she was Grand Round Indian. So people said, well, you could join us, and I said, I better stay where I'm at, or my mom might turn over in her grave, because her dad was the chief of our tribe, you know. And so I'll just stay put in the BIA, which BIA stands for Boss Indians Around. Decided way back there that we couldn't belong to both tribes of our people. So anyway, I could be over there at Grand Round, but I love my people over there in Grand Round, and they do a great job over there too with their Longhouse. I've been to Penn State and got them going at the Longhouse in Bend, and we're working on one for Southern Oregon University. I'm alumni down there, and so we're trying to get one going, right, Devin? Brent? Yeah. And it'll come. I hope I'm still here on this land to see it. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for everything, and you too, Mary. God bless you for joining with our people, the First Nation people of this land. And I'm really believing in all of you that we don't have to look at color to love somebody, you know. And so I'm sick and tired of people say, well, that's a black man and there's a red one. And I tour the world, and you've never seen such wonderful, beautiful people all over the world. I just came back from Japan. They accepted me over there. They said, we don't want no more war. I said, God bless you. I pray not. And so anyway, the journeys, and I am your voice as I journey the globe, you know, trying to get people to be more sustainable, to take care of our water, stop the pollution. I've been over to Switzerland, but a beautiful country. They don't have garbage all along their highways. And so we could learn from them over there. And so there's such beautiful people all over the world, just like you in this room. Conaway Nakatiligam, all my relation, right, Polly? All my relation. God bless you. We are this village today, going forward with a beautiful thing in our midst. And I know it's going to be a great support for everybody that comes through these doors. And so it's going to help children, and it's going to give strength to our young people and our givers of life, you know, to have a place to call their own, you know, and the door swings for everyone. And so it's a wonderful thing that all of you came, and all the powers here. And Eugene, thank God you're all working together to have such a dream to come together as this is today. So God bless you all. So let us rise and give thanks to our beloved, you know, for this day, for giving us one more day. Grandfather, the creator of all, the creator of the great mystery, God. Bless us today, Grandfather. I know you're smiling at your grandchildren today for you helping them with their dream, and for it to be here in this big building that they took a lot of sweat on the brow, Grandfather, to bring it to this point. And Grandfather, we thank you for all that you have done for those. Rest their bodies. Let them to sleep well, because it has been accomplished. And Grandfather, we look to you for everything. We look to you to give thanks for your grandchildren here today. And for the support we give them, we only have to look up and say 2 little words, help me. And believe those words, Grandfather. Without you, we're nothing. And we thank you for being in our lives, and we thank you for being in this building, for all those that will come to this place, Grandfather. We thank you, and touch each and every one that works so hard to bring this together, Grandfather, to touch them. And I thank you, Grandfather, for giving us our power. We can dance with happy feet tomorrow, and to give thanks, Grandfather, just for being, just to be able to take up this little spot on our Earth Mother's face. For us, the water down the pipe. And Grandfather, we thank you. Watching over us, watch over our homes while we are away. If anybody's in a room that needs a healing breath from you, Grandfather, you could help them. And if I have left anything out, you can take care of that. And we thank you. Thank you for our drummers. Thank you for our singers, Grandfather. What love we have in the songs that lifted up to you. And we pray, Grandfather, watch over us. Keep us safe and keep us centered. Keep us studying. Grandfather, we thank you for all these gifts that you have given us. Oh, Grandfather, oh, you may be seated.
Thank you, Grandma Agnes, for those words and for being here today. So to conclude our ceremony, I'd like to invite David West to come, and Dancing Spirit to do our last 2 honor songs. David.
Woodrow O'Connor. My name is David West. I'm a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation of Miami and Kickapoo Descendancy. I'm honored to be one of the co-chairs for the Lane Community College Native American Studies Program, Advisory Board. I'm the Director of Native American Studies at Southern Oregon University. It is indeed my honor and my privilege to be here today. When I was asked to participate, I felt very honored. I had to ask myself, they said you can do however you would like to do it. I was raised by my grandfather and my mother that when you're in someone else's country, you follow their way. And so this family, this Florindo family, has been important to my family. We've been very close together for many, many years. We now sing together on a drum. two songs that we're going to sing today. One is an honor song that I'll let Brent Florindo explain to you. And the second is a ho-chunk, previously known as the Winnebago song. And I'll explain that one when we get ready for that. I've been very moved here today. This is a beautiful house. My people are Longhouse people as well, from the Eastern Woodlands. My first experience in a Longhouse was at an educational institution, not amongst my own people, but at Oregon State University. And in that Longhouse, I found a man who found me, who put out his hand to me. He said, "Come, sit at this drum. You ever sing on drum before?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, you're going to today." And he sang a song. I said, "We're going to get you that song." And then he looked into my face. He said, "Have you ever been to the Sweat Lodge?" I said, "No. I've heard of them. I know of them." He said, "I want you to come next Tuesday out to Corvallis, Sweat House Lodge. There's something there for you." And those many, many years ago, I journeyed out there that next Tuesday. I went into the Sweat Lodge. That man took me in there, and there I found my sobriety. And there I walked in that sobriety for 25 years. I maintained that. It was in a public education institution, Longhouse, a Quonset hut, just like military, shaped like my people's longhouses. And I found myself in there. And now I find myself in this kind of longhouse. I've been in 100-year-old community houses in Alaska to fulfill the same need within the community of family and togetherness and love and generosity, sharing and caring, the providing of food, a very intact and fully functioning welfare system without sign-up sheets. These ways have been amongst our people for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I share something with Frank Merrill. I share a desire for my grandchildren, that are also his grandchildren, to walk through this door and have their hearts lifted up, to find just exactly what he said. From now on, a peace of heart, a peace of mind, a peace of their spirit, that their body, mind, spirit, and emotions are nurtured, that their minds are open, that they're given strength to persevere and to get past the obstacles that have plagued our people for 500 years in access to education. Because we're making a change. We're making a change by representation of who we are in those countless miles that our people have walked, sometimes in suffering, but always in love, and in family, and in tribe, and in joy, with great laughter. These songs are offered today with the deepest respect that we can bring to the drum, the heartbeat of all things. For those of us that were displaced and removed and cast about and scattered to the four winds from our home directions. For some of us, these big drums have been the catalyst and the magnet that drew us back together, that gave us life and allowed us to continue on and be in the places that we're at now. I'm thankful to those people. I'm thankful to that man, Mr. Al Smith, who took me to that sweat lodge, provided me with a way of remembrance that gave me life to this very day. And so I think about him today, and those that aren't represented here, as Frank said, in their long suffering. And yes, we're working hard. SOU's next. Thank you.
We're going to sing an honor song. But before we do that, I want to express to the president here that they're supporting a good thing, because I'm an alumni from Lane Community College from many years back when Frank was here. We didn't have much for us as students then. Thank God that Frank helped me start my way. I'm now the academic programs coordinator at Southern Oregon University for a Native Studies program. And It was the beginning here that got me to that place. So I'm honored to be here and sing this honor song. We're going to sing this honor song to honor those on this earth. We should remember our babies, our little ones. Huh? And to our elders, those ones that teach us. We're going to honor them, those that are here. Huh? We're going to honor those that went before us, those that gave their lives. And we're going to honor the Creator with this song, that this song might bless the vibrations of this Longhouse in a good way and make all those things happen for those of need. So if you would rise, those of you that can, we're going to sing our song, and David's going to explain the second song. This is the coming home song.
Thank you.
each and every one. It's